Hey guys, so I've just about finished up the clamping area over here with the French cleats, and now I'm ready to move on to the main event. This is where I do most of my work here at this bench. So I want all the tools that I use most often at arm's reach, right handy, everything I need. Okay, so I want to say a word about the design process here. So basically this is the stuff that I want to get up on this wall above my workbench. And I've got sort of a rough design, but I think it's good enough to build because I am going to change it a little bit as I go. So I'll show you what we got here. Is these cubbies at the bottom are about 4 inches square. They'll be cut out at the bottom so they'll hold these hand tools like this, right? Like that, and then all the way across. I think I can get about 12 of them. This is about how high it's going to be. So that's the bottom of the thing I'm building. It's going to come down to here, and the rest of it's all going to be way up there. That's probably my biggest concern, is having a lot of heavy stuff kind of up high. But we'll see how that goes. Alright, so I've got big cubbies, and then I got cubbies that are cut in half. The big ones are about 23 by 11, and then these are like 5.5. So what I did was I made a little mock-up here. This is 23 by 11, and it's just simple. Throw this together and then I can put stuff in here and kind of see how it's going to fit. This is the actual shelf wood that I'm going to use. So for example, that's the router. I could throw in something else, just see what's going to fit, what's not going to fit, so I can change the size of those cubbies as needed. All right, so there we go. Let's look at if we throw some of these in. Yeah, so you see here's how deep it is. So that fits a lot of wasted space. So in that case, that's why I got those half cubbies. So now, that would be a half cubby. So that'd probably work better, right? So I kind of went through that process, and I've got a plan of where I'm going to put all my stuff, so let's get started. Okay, so first I'm going to cut out the bottom, the top, the sides, and these two shelves, and probably basically all these pieces. Okay, so I just used the new crosscut sled to cut all these 4-inch spacers. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of piece this together. I got this all mocked up now. It's not glued or put together, it's just sort of held together temporarily so I can see what it's going to look like. Pretty cool. So next I'm going to take it apart, and I'm going to cut the slots in this bottom board all the way across so that so the tools will slide in here like so. So let's do that. Okay, so I'm getting ready to cut these slots. They're going to be 5.5 inches deep. I was going to go 6, but I decided on having a little bit more meat back here. So 5.5 inches deep, it'll look something like this. Will how it sit in there. So I'm going to cut a hole 1.5 inch diameter. So I've marked that off. Slots will be 1.5 inches wide. And I got all these marked off, so let's go drill these holes with a Forstner bit. Okay, so I've got my 1.5 inch Forstner bit. I'm going to use this guide. Okay, here we go. So I paused for a second to hook up some dust collection. I'm going to draw the lines on here so I can cut these out. Sanded. I'm starting to just do a little mock-up here of how it's going to work. You just slide in there like that. It's pretty simple. There'll be a board over the top like that. There'll be little cubbies, but there's plenty of room. And you can slide all the way back here. Alright, so next I'm going to start putting it together. Okay, so now I've got these all cut and I've drilled with countersink holes. So now I'm just going to glue these dividers on one by one, all the way across. Alright, so I got all these attached. So next, I put the board on top here and just measure out and drill for all the screws that are going to go in here. Top board is just screwed down, it's not glued, so it's temporary. And that's so that I can put these two boards on. So I'll take this off and put two screws in from underneath there and underneath here. Get that all glued up, and then I'll put this on and glue it down. Alright, so I've got these two attached. They're glued on. So now I'm going to glue and screw this whole thing down to this and let it dry overnight. Okay, so I went ahead and got this piece done. So I put 4 screws in here, that's all glued up. That piece is ready to go in. But first, I'm going to measure off and countersink all these holes down this side. Get both sides ready to go. And then I can pull this in, glue it in here, and glue the ends, screw it all together. And then all I got to do is put these shelves in and we're almost done. Alright, so I got the back on, and I went ahead and drilled the holes that we're going to use to attach this to the wall. Got a bunch of those.
Oh, the saw's in the way. People. Are you going to screw your brackets into there too?
It's up there. I got about 20 screws, 24 screws holding it to the wall. So I think it'll be strong enough. Let's go ahead and load it up and see what it looks like. Alright guys, I got it all done. Everything's up there. It's heavy, but I think it's really strong. I'm not worried at all about it falling. It turned out pretty good. I made some mistakes as usual, but it's definitely good enough for me, and it's what I wanted. I think it's going to work out great. I got a little room for expansion, not much, but at least I can add some more tools here if I need to. I think it goes well with the other stuff I've already done. So basically I'm almost done around to here, and next on the list I'll do some more French cleats down here with stuff like measuring tapes and squares and pencils, hammers, screwdrivers, whatever I'd normally use will go there, and then I still have a section to build out here, maybe tapes and glues, some other stuff, and then I still have this wall to do. So there's still a lot of work to do, but for now, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.